The Prolific Experience is the event infused with the poetry, music, and soul that you've been looking for. Purchase your advance tickets for your experience at theprolificexperience.com.
A prolific experience. I want an experience for soulful people that love the art of real music and poetry, that's filled with people who are fine with not being part of a popular clique or the in crowd. I want an experience with people who sing their stress away, even though they were told they couldn't sing because they don't sound like Beyonce. I want an experience where poets who have poetry in their hearts and thrown aside notebooks speak their piece in spite of being told that they're not real poets by people that feel like they have a name for themselves. I want to go into a zone that's supposed to be judgment-free and not pay to be judged. I want to experience people that are closet poets, musicians, and singers that have never introduced the mic to their spirit. I want to see them walk up to the mic and let their spirits free. I want to experience people filled with soul who aren't into gangster rap, killing the spirit and blatantly disrespecting themselves. People who have a love for art and love the true old school back in the day R&B, neo soul with a kiss of real hip hop from years before these babies were born and know where the help comes from. So it's no surprise when you hear a gospel song come from their lungs. I want an experience that I can grow from, that when I leave, I know my soul has been fed from. I want a prolific experience. Hello and thanks for tuning in to the Prolific Experience Neo Soul Show, where we are infused with poetry, music, and soul. I am your host, Prolific Jones. I hope your new year has begun on a healthy, safe, and positive note. Today, we are going to talk to spoken word artist, producer, and executive director of Thunderground Productions, LLC, Righteous One, who I've known for close to 20 years. This was a double interview as he also interviewed me for his show.
This is Righteous One. This is an exclusive pre-release version, raw, poetic justice. Up and down these streets, I hear the ghetto heartbeat in my head, keeping rhythm while repeating what the preacher said. Something about fish and a piece of bread and walking the path that my feet was led, feeding the souls that need be fed by saying the words that need be said, having faith in the blood that indeed he shed, and praying for those who wanna see me dead. In God I trust. No need for me to rush. My enemies get crushed anytime I bust to ashes and dust. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. This is I gotta make you understand. See where I come from, never had cash in hand in a lump sum. Never had stacks of grants or Benjamins. Been lacking in funds, in fact, since day one. Matter of fact, I ain't had many ones. Unless we count pennies, had plenty of bum. In the insidious slum, there's pity for none. Grittiest bums scrum for the littlest crumb, which is silly to some. So they hustle till the daylight come, and dash from the popo when they might come, and blast with the fofo cause they quite numb. Poison hearts like hit by the dart of a blowgun. Wounds deep like made by the sword of a shogun. Fear inside but they can afford to show none. Most young got love for no one, cause most of them don't get love from no one. In God I trust, no need for me to rush. My enemies get crushed anytime I bust, till ashes and dust. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. This is, yeah. You ain't gotta do what they do, just do what you feel. Never let them persuade you to sell out for a deal. I will show you the way through. Just trust in your skills. Use the gift that he gave you. But you got to be real. Got to be real. So from the heart to the pen, then out of the kiss, sir. Ain't none out now hotter than this, sir. Wisdom come through loud as a whisper. That's why I keep the rhyme style fresh as a crisper. Expand the frame when I enter the picture. No flash in the pan, I'm a permanent fixture. Give you what you need like reading a scripture. Street level heat with a spiritual mixture. Cursed at birth, now labeled the victor with a hold on a game like a boa constrictor. Back when only fans were mama and sister, I knew I'd rise like skin on a blister. Now I'm the uplifter, lyrical gifter. Try to heal the land of whatever afflicts her. Not a doc, but I'm something like an ailment fixer. Not the cure for sure, I'm just an elixir and I trust. No need for me to rush, my enemies get crushed anytime I bust, till ashes and dust. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice.
What are your projects that you have coming up? What's going on?
All right, let's see. Well, of course, there's the podcast itself, which is a collaboration. Like I'm basically producing this with the some assistance with the nonprofit organization called Herb Aesthetics in St. Louis, and there's a couple other things that I'm working on with a group, and see what we call this, a production house basically for content, and it's Most Precious Productions, and there she is she's a DJ slash poet MC, and she owns her own content production space, and that's in Alton, Illinois. And so there are a few things that we're working on there, and a lot of what I'm doing right now as far as the focus, I still have my stuff that I'm working on as far as my personal projects, recording projects and stuff like that. I still have that. So I'm either writing or making beats or doing something to build that catalog up and start releasing stuff, getting the recordings done and start releasing that stuff. But the things that I'm focused on right now most immediately are content creation based, where this right here, the podcast, there'll be radio station stuff, to where I'm kind of building up more of an infrastructure and platforms, just building up platforms and infrastructure so that the next time anybody I know has something to put out, there's already a mini machine set up to help them get it out to people that they might not normally reach, basically.
Well, I was just saying because I love everything that you did with Doo-Wop, our
Mm.
friend and sister in Cincinnati, and I'm gonna tell you, I've been trying to put out this one project.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I might need to call Righteous because it's music's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm working with a guy named Omega Latham,
Mm-hmm.
and he's musical genius. Like he just sits there, and then all this music just comes out his fingers. It was doing,
Yeah, yeah.
do that, you know. But I just need some extra help. But I've got a project coming out called Words Unspoken Now Said,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a journey.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be easier than doing a book, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's things to think about that we don't normally think about. But if we so one of the things, yeah, so we it's a done deal. So anything you need help on, that's nothing. Just let me know. We'll start chopping it up and building on that. Um, but like some of the things that we don't think about when it comes to bringing together a recording project is a couple of things that I started learning or reading about that I wasn't necessarily applying in the early goings was you got to listen to some of the things, some of the projects that you loved, maybe growing up, and how when you put them in and you could listen to it from start to finish uninterrupted,
Hmm.
how they almost seem to, almost in every case, the really good stuff, like the classic albums or CDs or projects, it took you on a journey, through like a sequence of events. Sometimes they use skits to tie things together, but one of the things we have to do is let's go back to listen to some of the things that we really loved and not necessarily copy what they're doing, but just think about the sequence. Okay, first track, something like this, second track, this, and be intentional with how we're tying together the messaging and
Hmm.
the vibe of the songs, the vibe of the music, how we're tying it together to where does it seem to have a smooth, cohesive thing, or does it kind of jump, you know, and sometimes it's good to take it at least on an up and down journey. But yeah, just being conscious of the sequencing and the messaging and like, all right, I want to tell a story because I want people to understand kind of how this thing started for me, and then where I'm at now and how I came through whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think, and I think that's where I was at with it. I'm like, I want it to be as smooth as if I'm listening to. I know I'm not Jill Scott. Okay, I know that, but that I am Jill.
Hmm. Yeah.
Jill
Yeah.
Scott. That I want that feeling like when somebody listens to it
Yeah.
20 years from now.
Yeah.
That's what I want people to have. You know what I'm saying? It's still relevant. That feeling that you get when you listen to them songs
Yeah.
are still gonna be relevant
Yeah.
as, as the day that I first did it.
So like, if you could think of two or three things that you would say that you want folks to take away from this conversation, that that they can apply to themselves, the principles that you live by, or just things that you found helpful, that you just always remember, to keep you going in this journey.
Um, First thing I think of is making sure you speak your piece.
Mm.
And sometimes you don't have to speak it out loud. Sometimes it can be just literally writing it down just to get it out. Because there's something about your thoughts that when it needs to be said, it'll keep tapping at you.
Mm. Mm.
And it's like you try to, like me, especially because sometimes I dream my poems,
Mm.
you know. And I'll try to, no, I want to sleep. I want to sleep for real. But I haven't slept for real in years because I dream all the time. So some things just need to be said. And there is a reason why they keep coming to you to be said. You don't know what the reason is, but say it, get it on out so it won't drive you crazy. um, but speak your piece and speak your truth,
Mm.
because sometimes when you're trying to do what other people want you to do, you can be miserable. And
Mm.
there's no point in being miserable all your life,
Mm.
you know. But that's my two things.
Cool, cool. And I
What's
haven't
yours?
done this yet, so I ask people all the time. I've done all these episodes and ask people now. So I have to think about for myself what I would say. One of the biggest things or lessons that I've been learning is um, how much how much you can carry, right? And not for the sake of putting a limit on you, right? But you know, you have to know that at that particular time, though you may have the aspirations to do, 17 things, you might you might not be able to take that 17th thing on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the first 5 are not far enough along to completion, right? So we gotta realize how much we can carry as far as different tasks or hats we wear, and be comfortable with telling people when you've reached your limit, and
Mm-hmm.
that communication is very important. Another thing I would say is um, never stop learning, because this technology is one of the reasons why we can't stop learning. We have to keep up with new ways of doing things,
Mm-hmm.
creating music, even writing, even journaling and storing the poetry. You know what I'm saying? Like storing any written works or storing any paintings and stuff like that. Like a lot of stuff can be transposed or transferred over into a digital state, and we
Mm-hmm.
can still keep it. We can still keep the integrity of that art intact. So yeah, never stop learning, and be about the business side. Like learn about anything legal attached to doing what you do.
Right.
An artist, and because that's important for the business side. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
you're taking care of getting, if there's contracts involved, if there's not contracts involved, sometimes you got to make a contract be involved just because you want to make sure everybody's doing what they said they're going to do. Because a lot of times, if something happens, then the verbal might not be enough to stand up in a court if, God forbid, something has to go that route, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be about the business. Be about the business. So yeah, know how much you can carry. Never stop learning. Be about your business.
Yeah, I got one more.
Go ahead.
Copyright. When we talking about the business,
Yeah.
copyright your stuff, honey. I don't care if it's one sentence and you say it's a poem, copyright it.
Copyright, trademark, all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Do the things that's necessary to protect your intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times it comes down to, you have an idea. You were the originator of the idea. And
Mm-hmm.
granted, there's so many people in the world. There's a good, strong chance that 2 people can possibly come up with a very similar idea
Yep.
in the way it sounds and the way it looks. All of that is absolutely possible, right? But some things, there's no way you could duplicate it without a copy. So you owe it to yourself to make sure that you're protecting your ideas, your thoughts, your dreams, everything that you're doing. So let's tell people. You mentioned mentioned the bookstore and where that can be found, and any other, you can either restate that, and then any other places you can be found on the internet, social media and such.
So I am on Facebook and Instagram as Prolific Jones, Prolific Jones 502. People they say, why do you want to do just 502?
Mhm.
Like you're gonna be bigger than 502, but 502 has a lot of history in it.
Mhm.
502 is a place of Muhammad Ali. 502 is the place of the Kentucky Derby, of which the first I think 13 to 15 of the Kentucky Derby winners were black. They were slaves.
Mm.
And for that beginning
Mm.
to have happened with people that they thought were nothing, look at where it is right now. So that's why I talk about 502. That's just a couple of things with me, but because I love Black history, love it. Olivia Jones 502 on Facebook and Instagram. If you are interested in being a performer at the Prolific Experience, which is a neo soul poetry nights, it's a group on Facebook, the Prolific Experience Neo Soul event, and we actually travel. So if you out of town, you want a prolific experience for your birthday, anniversary, retirement, whatever the case is, go ahead and just give us a call. Weddings, go ahead and just give us a message. Call us at 502-208-9625. And I don't tweet because I am overwhelmed with just the Facebook and the Instagram alone. But if you want to email me, prolific services 502 at gmail.com.
Dope.
And how will we get in touch with you, oh righteous one?
And that's one of them. I'm a righteous one, and RYCHESS, and it's either going to be the number one. That will be me on Instagram. Righteous one with WUN spelled out. So righteous, RYCHUSSWUN. That's like Facebook and most other places. You'll see it like that. And yeah, Spotify, where I have any music up, you'll be able to find it in that way as well. Email righteous view or righteous word. So righteous view, RYCHUSSVIEW, the correct spelling of view. However, word, I use the U instead of the O. So WURD on those. I know it's.
But I want to thank you for being one of the positive influences that I've had during this poetic journey. Like, anytime I think of my poetry experience, you are like one of the main people in it. So I thank you for that.
Hey, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you for being who you are and have been, since we met. Always been genuine, always been. I didn't meet the bust your head, JC, and I didn't meet the bust your head, JC, and I wouldn't have, and that's one of those things. Until we have these conversations, we won't get to find out all these different facets of our individual journeys, and I appreciate the growth that it took, to recognize some of the it's part of the survival, though. I'm sure whoever got busted in the head was, and most likely it was a justified act on your part.
And it was. No, but I think everybody has that time in their life in which they have that crazy, experience.
Yeah.
But it's whether or not you want to stay there.
Right. Most definitely.
And I didn't want to stay there.
Yeah.
So I had to hurry up and get some grow up in it. Plus, I had this little baby that's going to be 22.
Yeah, little baby, yeah.
I'm just saying, so I had to get right about me, Plus, I realized that wasn't where I come from. I never have to act like that. You know what I'm saying? or being around situations that I was in. Because I was spoiled, I was spoiled little girl or whatever case is. But
Mhm.
got out the house, got on my own, and lost my mind, which
Yeah,
most people.
it
It's
happens. It happens. It happens. And
mm,
yeah, we're thankful for you know the work and that you've put in to evolve and to get to where you are and give all this love and light to the surrounding region and continuing to do the things you're doing with the bookstore and with the events that you're doing live. And I pray that you find those good moments to get that rest that's needed to be recharged and re-energized for the
right.
next project, the next week of events and things like that. So yeah, I think anybody you want to give shout outs to or thank for in addition.
Uh, First and foremost, Mr. Ceddy said Cedric Ritz.
Right, right.
Because I told him, because we've been together 13 years now. And I told him, I said, don't nobody deal with my crazy like you do. Like, I, don't nobody else gonna do that. And nobody else will be worth it anyway. But I appreciate him for everything, his understanding of my entrepreneurial me, my teacher me, my, I make baking cakes all day me. um, and then of course, um, all the people that we've come across, like, how we met through Soul Lounge and Julius
Yeah, yeah.
and 30 something with Everett,
Mm.
all the other places that we got to, experience in our time. Because I was just thinking, with y'all in St. Louis, seems like the poetry set, the art set is nice down there. We're trying to get it, like there's a set down here, but it's not what we're used to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna need to check that out. But other than that, everybody that's just been supporting JC Jones-Britt, Prolific Jones, whomever I might be at that time, whatever hat I'm wearing,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and sticks with me. I just really, really appreciate it. People that buy my books and ask me to come and perform and all these different things. I had this one girl, fan girl, like, oh my God, I love you so much. I was like, me? I'm looking around like,
So dope.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's so dope. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate everybody that's blessed me and my nose as much as my yes. You know what I'm saying? And those people that didn't believe in me, I appreciate them too, because they just pushed me to do what I felt like I needed to do even harder.
Most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, and yeah, I'll thank my mother first, my wife, most importantly because she's dealing with the present day aspirations of still holding on to these passionate pieces of me doing my art. Well, she enjoys it.
Hmm.
Queen Amina Williams, she enjoys it, but yeah, there's those times where it's like, all right, you got something else on something again, and have to work around and manage, and because we got the kids and things got to get done. People got to get brought to places and how to
Hmm.
drive and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely appreciate her allowing me the grace to take on this as a regular part of what I'm adding to. 'Cause like I usually try to take one project at a time, so at least that usually makes it palatable. So as long as I'm just doing one thing that I'm locked into at a time, and letting the others kind of compartmentalize, and yeah, I'm usually good. But yeah, and then everybody who's been supportive over the years, within and surrounding, from St. Louis to Cincinnati to Louisville to Detroit, any place I'm not thinking of. Back home, folks back home in New Orleans, sister. She's out in Dallas now. It's just people that's always been not necessarily yes folks that's just like always going to be with everything, but
Support.
Support, invaluable feedback, and that's really all we can ask for. Yeah.
And like, we brought up Doo-Wop, you know what I'm saying? I met her through, well, it's so crazy. We met on Facebook first because I was just connecting with poets, and then come to find out she used to host the Soul Lounge before I started hosting. So we just stayed connected from that point on. Like, and that's just one more thing, like the difference in the poetry scene from when we were in it,
right,
when we started in it, to what you see now. It's such a difference, but that's why I call the prolific experience, because it's my experience of my view of what I experienced throughout the years. And I haven't been in it as long as you have, as far as your knowledge, but I miss it from what it was, and I'm still trying to bring it back.
I think I think at some point I think it's going to be appropriate to kind of have like a panel where we kind of talk about those changes, because similar sentiments from folks who were active around the same time frame, the earlier 2009, 10, all the way maybe up to 15 or something like that. A shift started to change to where it went from more of, and granted there was adversarial situations, there was gossip and stuff, there was stuff happening back then, but at least it seemed like more the intent was building, connecting, family, like kind of just branching out, pipelining from one area to the next type of thing, where more so now it seems more competitive and more about only pushing a proven commodity and not necessarily allowing folks to develop. If you don't come in polished, you might not get on the open mic stage. On the open mic stage, if you're not polished, you might not get on the open mic stage till the end. If we don't already know that you can rock, you might not get on the open mic stage till the end of it, when most people are gone.
So we have some spots where I feel like you don't have to be polished, but it's more still like a clique type situation. Like if you're not, part of that crew. And that's why I say like there's different genres of poetry, because you've got your hip hop kind of crowd type setup. I'm more of the neo soul, jazz, R&B type situation, and it's a hype type situation, or
bang for the buck.
I'm straight cool. Like I don't have no pearls, but some situations I've come in, and maybe it's because of my age, and I'm not that old. I'm 43.
Yeah.
But from what I grew up in the poetry deal with, some stuff I be like, oh Lord, full pearls that I don't have. Wait a minute, But they're still expressing themselves. I still want them to express themselves. But I'm just an old school type person. But we will be starting the whole.
I know we about to get into.
My stomach up here growling. Like, I'm like, it's time to go eat. But yeah. Anyway.
Let's do this. Let's thank each other for making time for this, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna commit to picking up conversations in the future when there's another project to go on, and stay connected and build on this conversation, right? And I appreciate you again for giving me the time, not only to participate in my platform, but also to participate in your platform as well.
And same to you. Thank you.
Peace and blessings. This is the combination of the Right for Life podcast with
The Prolific Experience Podcast, or One Mic Only, as we call it.
That's it.
This is my pain.
Peace and blessings, everyone.
First offspring, man child, out of wedlock born, see. Felt like the whole world had a headlock on me. Some days was calm, most days was stormy. I swear my own pops, man, he had it in for me. Mama did her best to protect and adore me. Even she couldn't stop him from trying to harm me. Whole time felt like boot camp in the army. Those 6 years of fear would forever scar me. That's why if I could, I'd only go out in the rain, so I wouldn't have to smile to hide my pain. I keep most folks at the edge of my pain and never let nobody close enough to hurt me again. They say a man ain't supposed to cry or complain. To tell the truth, it's a miracle that I'm still sane. My heart got permanent scars and my brain is so still. Tell me, are you feeling my pain? Are you feeling my pain? Are you feeling my pain? Hey, years gone by, still alive, but a dime in the five. Mama, baby girl, and I still trying to survive. We down south, West Coast is where he resides. I'm thanking God for all the blessings that he provides. But sometimes I'm wishing Pop was more near to eyes, so I could let go of the hate, allow this fear to die. Just when we began to reconcile, he decides he can't live another day past 35. And that's why, if I could only go out in the rain, so I wouldn't have to smile to hide my pain. I keep most folks at the edge of my head and never let nobody close enough to hurt me again. To say a man ain't supposed to cry or complain. To tell the truth, it's a miracle that I'm still sane. My heart got permanent scars and my brain is so stained. Tell me, are you feeling my pain? Are you feeling my pain? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you feeling my pain? Hey, hey. For any time he ever ran out of options, thanks to mama's prayers and guidance, I was blessed to find new ones. And today is a new day, so today I speak of new. For any time he ever ran from the demons that chased him out of his mental, I pick up torch, armor, and sword, inherit his enemies and vanquish them every one. Today I shield others now. For any time he ever ran into walls seemingly made of granite and steel until they all managed to kill his spirit, forcing him to fall prey to self-inflicted consequences. Today I stand on name, sir. If I could, I'd only go out in the rain, so I wouldn't have to smile to hide my pain. I keep most folks at the edge of my head and never let nobody close enough to hurt me again. To say a man ain't supposed to cry or complain. To tell the truth, it's a miracle that I'm still sane. My heart got permanent scars and my brain is so stained. Tell me, are you feeling my... If I could, I'd only go out in the rain, so I wouldn't have to smile to hide my... I keep most folks at the edge of my hand and never let nobody close enough to hurt me. They say a man ain't supposed to cry or complain. To tell the truth, it's a miracle I'm still. My heart got permanent scars and my brain is so stained. Tell me, are you feeling my pain? This is the last one for this session. It's called Can't Give Up. Self-explanatory, right? No matter what you go through, you gotta keep pushing as long as you're breathing, right? Truth is, I could be dying as I speak. I pray to God they never catch me lying in the street with a puddle of my own blood drying underneath. That's a grim thought to start with, but let me speak my piece. Life is too short to stay caught up in the drama. Any blessing I receive is thanks to prayers from my mama. Me and my sister close, we both have our own set of traumas. And queen of me to save my life, if I'm being real honest. So it's a pleasure and honor as I stand here today. But if ever feeling away, I won't be acting okay. Yeah, that's how we used to deal with stress back in the day. But that's a heart attack, a stroke, and then you packed in a grave. Compassion is brave, acting like you heartless is sus. If you lying to yourself, tell me who can you trust? When the pressure's on heavy, will you diamond or bust? You can't quit now, I promise you could make it, but you just... Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man, I look in the mirror, I see the age, you know what I'm saying? I've been living this backup plan for so long, and sometimes I wonder why I still do this, why I still make music, why I still go on stages. But I know as long as I'm breathing, I gotta keep going, right? Because deep down, I just feel like I'm still like this. I'm like this unknown legend, unknown genius, one of the illest minds designed Earth, Mars, or Venus. Let him in, he's medicine. Intravenous, you get the picture once he live at Tipitina's. Bayou boy, growed up, got his game sewed up, pen and pad in his hand. Look here, man, hold up, big and easy, cool and breezy, like a frozen cold cup from round the corner with them quarters from your heated sofa. But you never hear him saying that they show him no love. Made his name and his home in the show me, show enough. Embraced with hugs like a long lost cuz. Had to start it all over, cause I lost my buzz. They see the platinum on the chin, think he tardy for the bloom, but you can stand him right up next to the hardest in the room. Finger paint in my placenta, been an artist since the boom. Flair 8 graffiti bump box embedded in my tomb. I'm the keeper of the boom. Reaper under moon, you will not outwork me if you sleeping until noon. Can't just leap into this bag, it's flyer than you assume. I'm a dragon out of cocoon, for pretenders I am doom. And yeah, too far. Thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, this is PErychusswun. You can hear this exclusively on my Bandcamp channel outside of this beautiful radio broadcast. Peace and blessings. Thank you, JC.
I know that money ain't free. Ain't nobody gonna give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'm gonna work for me. I know that money ain't free. Ain't nobody gonna give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'm gonna work for me.
Just so we're clear, if you didn't know it before, The Prolific Experience is the event infused with the poetry, music, and soul that you've been looking for. Purchase your advance tickets for your experience at theprolificexperience.com.